I went to the woodworking show in Indianapolis this last weekend. And at the show, there was a vendor selling all kinds of wood, bowl blanks, flats, dimensional wood. He also had discount bins full of wood that had defects. And you can see this piece of walnut is cupped pretty bad, and it's got some splits on the end. So I picked it up for $5. It measures 9 by 10 by 2 inches thick. So I'm cutting it into a 9-inch round. And I used the bandsaw circle cutting jig because the wood was a little bit wobbly. And here I'm just using the worm screw to mount this blank onto the lathe chuck. And the first thing I do is make it round and then start working on the shape of the bottom of the bowl. Another thing about this piece of wood that may have contributed to it being in the discount bin is that it's mostly sapwood. It only has a little bit of heartwood. For those of you that don't know, and I'm sure most of you do, but the sapwood is the lighter colored wood on the outside. The thing about walnut that makes it so expensive is the beautiful heartwood, the dark brown, not so much the sapwood. And what I'm doing here is just defining the rim of the bowl and eliminating some defects. And here I'm just marking for the mortise and then also marking the foot of the bowl where I want it to be. And I'm just sanding up to 500 grit before I flip it over. I'm going to feature somebody this week that has just really impressed me with the pictures that he sent. 13 years old, Billy Sawicki, I hope I said your name right, Billy, made all of these. He's been turning for a year. And really all I can say is if he's producing stuff like this at 13 years old, Billy is a future superstar in the woodturning community. Billy is from England, and you can find him on Facebook. What an inspiration. Just outstanding, Billy. I show these pictures because I want to pay back all of you that have subscribed and watch my channel all the time. It's a small thing, but I want you to know that I really appreciate all of you. So thank you. And here I'm cutting up some Tigerwood. 16 little segments cut at 11.25 degrees. 16 segment rings, I guess, are my favorite. I like the look of them. This is actually a 20 segment ring because I inserted some walnut at each 90 degree spot. And then these are open segment walnut chunks. I let that dry for about 6 hours is all. I used Tight Bond 2 wood glue. Yeah, I'm definitely saving these shavings. You'll see them again in a future project for sure. Just so I can show you what I'm doing up close here. I rest the bevel onto the wood, and then I slowly twist the cutting edge onto the wood, ever so gently. And it does a good job of avoiding catches that way. That's just how I do it. I'm sure there's other ways. You can also see how long it takes to do about an inch of cutting. Nice and slow and easy and deliberate. Now, something else I want to point out here is the difference in the wood feel on the tool. You see, I'm cutting down the open segments, and as soon as I get to the solid piece, I get a little bit of resistance. So you got to be really gentle when you're working like this. I really can't emphasize that enough. Just pay attention to the feel of the tool. You see with that little bowl gouge I was getting some resistance there again, so I flipped it over and started shear scraping, and it worked fine. And here I'm just doing the final touches on the rim, inside and out. And here's kind of a neat shot for those of you that have stuck around. Those open segments are completely invisible. It's kind of a neat shot. And here is where an oversight caught up with me. I should have taken care of these cracks early in the process when I was working on just that chunk of walnut by itself. But it worked out okay. It could have been better though, if I'm being honest. You just add the glue and sand and let the sand mix with the glue and fill those cracks. And this is OB Shine Juice, the recipe that Captain Eddie made famous. And I end up using about 3 coats of it. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with the combination of woods here. Walnut and Tigerwood. They look pretty good together. I love that Tigerwood. I'm gonna do some more with that in the future. That's some beautiful wood. A little bit of flash in there, a little bit of chatoyance. Always nice to see that. Thanks for watching. I sure appreciate it. Semper Fi.